Hourglass. I'm Carrie Heath.
I'm Rob Davidson.
I'm Spencer Vogel.
And the topic for today is fears. Here we go. Okay, let's just start with normal fears. Mine, I am terrified of heights. I know that might sort of be irrational, but I can't walk on anything I can see through. And that includes the subway grates in New York. I walk around them like a dumb dog. I can't do it.
So the guy that was going across the Grand Canyon.
Oh, I almost pooped myself. Or when Felix Baumgartner did that amazing jump from space. Did you all see that?
Oh,
that was some of the coolest stuff I have ever
That's
seen.
amazing.
It was amazing, right? But I was sitting there, my palms broke out into sweat, and my heart started beating faster. I was like, because he was so high. It was like he was in space, basically, and he jumped from space. It was the coolest thing I've ever seen, and there was a camera on him. So you see, from his perspective, when he steps out of the spacecraft, and he just... Oh my God.
Was he wearing an oxygen?
He was wearing a full spacesuit, basically.
Okay, and then it was like bungee jumping from space or what?
Parachuting, basically.
Whoa!
But he had to free fall. He free fell for 2 minutes and 40 seconds or something like that before. Can you imagine falling for that long? That's endless. That's anyway. So yes, I'm scared of heights.
Yeah, that's crazy. Mine is actually blood. I don't literally cannot test my pulse or check my neck.
The flow.
Even though the blood is underneath.
Yeah, it freaks me out. And then if I prick my finger, I'll get a little nauseous. But I don't faint. But I mean, I don't like blood. It's
really.
But it's especially my pulse and the sound of a heartbeat. I just don't like it. In the Poltergeist, I think it was, where you hear that heartbeat in the background. I just can't.
Dude, as a quick side note, harkening back to one of my guilty pleasures, that Once Upon a Time, one of the big things is that the evil queen pulls people's hearts out and then crushes them in her hands. So there's a lot of boom, boom, boom,
that
boom.
would scare me.
That would. That's interesting. I didn't know that about you.
Yeah, it just freaks me out.
Funny.
And then I go to the doctor and when they try and take my blood, I can't look. I have to they put a towel over it. I have to look the other way.
Wow.
It's they put an ice pack on my neck. It's really
My
really
goodness,
bad.
you're high maintenance.
I maintenance. What about you, Spence?
I'm really afraid of internet talk shows. Snakes. I'm afraid of snakes. Snakes are the worst.
I'm with you on that.
I hate serpents.
Indiana Jones.
Anything reptilian?
Really?
No,
not reptiles, because lizards. I don't like lizards, but they don't bother me. A lizard could walk over my hand and I wouldn't freak out. But yeah, Indiana Jones, snakes. Why did it have to be snakes?
Did you have a bad experience with a snake?
That I can remember. Yeah, there was 2 that I can remember. I was 4 and I tapped on the glass of a friend's pet python. One of those snakes that are so big, you're why is this a pet?
Yeah.
You know?
Especially
in a house that has 4-year-olds.
Exactly. Is this really domestic,
Yes,
this creature
right.
right here? No.
Well, I tapped on the glass, and he reared up and whacked his face against the glass. It was terrifying.
Yeah.
And then I was at the Colorado River when I was 6 to 8 or something, and one of those water snakes swam by me way too close. It was terrifying.
Oh, I'm with you. I hate snakes too.
I hate them. I hate the way they look.
They look primeval, man. It terrifies me.
I hate the way they sound. They look grotesque and filthy to me, and which I've heard they're not, or they might carry salmonella. I don't know, but they look gross. Just everything about snakes and people that keep them as pets seriously bother me.
It's a little creepy to have a snake that's longer than maybe 3 feet long.
Oh,
well, yeah.
absolutely.
Well, and even to
becomes creepy snake.
Yeah. Even herpetologists who go I don't get it. I don't understand.
I pursue things that freak me out just to do it.
Which is good. That's good for you.
No, it's just pure morbid.
Oh, it's not because you're trying to overcome.
No, not at all. But I go on YouTube and watch snakes eating things just to freak myself out. Snakes one time I saw a snake eat another snake that was as large as itself. It was freaky. Yeah. So when the one eating it opened his mouth, you could see the head of the other one. Yeah, it was creepy. Yeah,
That's
whoa.
really creepy.
Okay, yeah, I'm with you. I don't like snakes either. I think
Skeeves me up, man.
How about
That's a good one.
irrational fears?
I think that one's fairly irrational.
I think that's
I-
irrational.
Well,
most
you can
fears
make
are
the case that
irrational.
any fear is irrational.
Most
Because, like,
of them.
really, I'm going to walk across a subway grate and fall through? No.
Exactly.
And how often are you
Yeah.
going to encounter a snake that's going to kill you?
Not often.
But, like, the truly irrational
They're like
fears.
Yeah.
weird, like where
Oh,
you're,
okay.
you're like
Where there's no
how?
explanation to it, necessarily. I think that's more
okay,
what I'm thinking.
that
Which
one.
I kind of have one, too. I mean,
Lots of people, I think everybody has like foibles that are really irrational or like things that irritate them. But if you go, I can't think of the fears
Okay.
too much.
I have this one, and I recently admitted this to my best friend Heather after not ever having spoken about it, and I think it was so dormant in my mind that I didn't even realize it was a real fear.
Yeah.
I have a fear that I am gonna end up in prison for life.
Yeah, right. Me too.
I
yeah,
am
right. Mine's
convinced
more accurate.
that I'm gonna
Like,
you have for a
right.
reason.
Snap one day.
No, not even that. That somehow I'll just totally be in the wrong place
You'll get
at the
framed.
wrong time.
Yeah.
Either framed or something happens that maybe I am sort of responsible for, but it's misunderstood. I can't even totally
You could
like,
frame
put it
for
into
something
words.
That's gonna put you in jail for life.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow.
Totally.
I think that's
Totally.
basically it.
Totally.
I'm really afraid of that, actually.
Wow.
Yeah.
That
I-
one
I
and ending
feel
up
it, yeah.
homeless, which is
Yeah.
kind of along the same lines.
Yeah.
There are two things that will probably never happen, but I like whenever I see a homeless person, I'm like, that is so easy
That could happen.
to happen.
It happen.
Like I really empathize because I'm like, like I have debt, like you lose your job.
Yeah.
It's just a series of small steps that leads to that.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's kind of scary,
Yep.
and I feel for them, and I'm like worried that could happen to me.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's unlikely. I have a very strong support system.
Right.
I don't luckily I don't have any mental diseases that make
Right.
things difficult for
Right.
me to function in daily life.
Mhm.
Anyway, so prison and homelessness.
Yes.
My rational fears.
My irrational fear is I get a small panic attack every single time I approach a red light camera.
Oh yeah.
The
for
red light
real.
cameras like freak me
Yeah.
out so much
Yeah.
because I don't want to.
It's like a little robotic
It's
policeman.
like, it's like if you don't have a red light camera, basically what happens is as soon as that light turns red, it takes a picture of the intersection, and if you're in the intersection during that time, during that nanosecond, then you get a ticket. In California, it's over $400. So every single time I freak out, like I don't want to get a $400 ticket for something as stupid as
That
like
minimal.
that.
And it even happens if it's red and you can turn right on the red, but you don't fully stop and you roll through it, kind of,
Yeah.
which we all do. You can
Yeah.
get a ticket for that too.
Or
for a
if
red
you're
light
the
camera.
first in line at the red light camera, if you're like an inch over the white line, then it can take your picture there too.
They're very
So
unpredictable.
I want to be second in line and just
Yeah.
make sure that the first person goes, and then I can go, and then I don't have to worry about it.
I totally agree with wanting to be second in line at a red light where you're turning right, because I don't want to be first, because then I feel pressured to go when it's not safe.
Exactly, because you're
Or
like, all these
like-
people are behind me, and they want me to turn.
I totally feel that. Yeah, but my irrational fears will always have to do with being like unjustly persecuted by other people, because it happens.
I think
But-
that's
Like
my
a-
prison
yeah.
thing.
Yes,
That's my prison
right.
thing, yeah.
But like lately, it's gotten to such an extent. Like I every Saturday I take my dad's blind, and my grandma that can't shop anymore. So I do the grocery shopping for both of them, and I always get 5 pieces of spicy chicken at the fried chicken place at the grocery store. But I refuse to take anything but drumsticks because they rule and they have more meat on them. But I feel like they're going to yell at me because I don't just grab a scoop of it. I actually go like picking around for the drumstick, like nah. And so I go and like I just expect someone to go, "Hey man, like take what are you doing, man? Like taking everything like everybody else. Come on."
They
You
won't
know,
say it,
it's
but they are
just-
secretly
they're
judging
totally
you. They're
thinking it.
secretly judging
If
you.
I
That's
saw
true.
somebody else do that, I'd be thinking that too. I'd be like, man, I was gonna do that later. You know? So yeah, but it hasn't happened yet. But the chicken man might be on me.
Okay, how about any
Yes.
fears that you're proud of yourself that you've recently overcome?
No, not a damn one.
I have one. I have always been kind of how we both feel about snakes.
Mhm.
I have always felt that way about spiders. They have 8 legs. Why do they need all those legs? Creeps me out, right?
Yep.
Well, our family has been like to the Philippines. We've been to some places with some serious bugs.
Mhm.
And so I have gotten to the point now, I have killed over 10 spiders with my own bare hands, and several of them have been in the shower too, where you're at your most vulnerable. I know the spider doesn't care that I'm naked, but I do, and so it makes it all worse. So I am really proud of myself. If it's a really nasty looking one with like a lot of crunch to it, I don't know if I could, but I can kill them with my hands now.
I feel you on the crunch too.
Yeah.
It's gross when you get it inside.
Yeah, that's why I don't like cockroaches.
I think mine for like recently overcoming it is I never wanted to hold a baby because they're fragile and I don't want to.
And their little head might snap off or something.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so I just, I never wanted to hold a baby.
People have asked me, you want to hold a baby? I go, nah, man.
All right, so and now you can hold babies.
Yeah, I can hold the baby.
Now we can hold babies, folks. Oh, wait. I guess I just... Yeah, that's the end. All right,
Thank
peace.
you. Bye.
Bye. That is hilarious.
Yeah.
About the baby.